take them same and apply it. We good to go. Well, hello and welcome to the Lost Confederacy check of recovery for American prisoners of war. I have myself, Chief Eco. Today we have Chief Alligator as well as Chief Black Coat. And here as always, we focus more so on that first letter in the acronym APOW, which is American. And as always, we're going to start off with the video from MSNBC about this system being completely infiltrated from top to bottom in regards to this government. Let's go ahead and play this here.
Anti-Defamation League's Center on Extremism is out with an in-depth analysis of a leaked Oath Keepers membership list from a year ago, which finds there were hundreds of names on it of current or former elected officials, law enforcement officers, and members of the military. The Oath Keepers are a far-right militia group, multiple members of which stormed the United States Capitol during the insurrection and that attack on January 6th. For more on this new report, CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, joins us now. Jonathan, thanks for being with us. So take us through the report that you all did, how you got your hands on the list, and what were some of the more troubling aspects of what you found?
Sure. Thank you for having me this morning, Willie. And I will tell you, this is a chilling report, the likes of which we've never released before. Last September, ADL analysts were able to get our hands on a data leak of the Oath Keepers membership rolls. There were 38,000 names that were essentially pulled from their records and put out in the open. Our analysts pulled down the information before the Oath Keepers could pull it back. We used open source techniques, including public records, social media, and other methods to review every single name that we found. And I must say, we thought the Oath Keepers were a threat when they rampaged through the Capitol on January the 6th, but we had no idea just how deep the threat truly is. We found hundreds of active law enforcement members who are part of the Oath Keepers, 10 chiefs of police, 11 sheriffs, dozens and dozens of active members of the US military, some 80 individuals who were running for public office, almost 24 of whom made it through the primaries and will be up this fall. And look, you might not know all of these names. Many people might know Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers, who still months after the terror attack at the Capitol proudly proclaimed that she was an Oath Keeper and supported the group. But I'm talking about a county commissioner in Nevada, a town justice in New York, a firearms instructor in Pittsburgh, a pastor in North Carolina, and it goes on and on and on. These are individuals with access and influence. These are individuals with resources and training. And these are individuals who have shown us they are willing to commit acts of sedition and violence against the US government.
Jonathan, are you surprised at the extent of the membership of the Oath Keepers and other far-right groups who apparently, or maybe they do know, that the underpinnings of the philosophy of these groups are rooted in race and religion? In other words, they're against anybody who isn't white. And Jewish people obviously have a target on their backs based upon their philosophies. Does this surprise you at all that their membership is so diverse in a sense?
It somewhat does. I mean, look, right-wing extremism is the spectrum. We know that, Mike. And so there are white supremacists, there are sovereign citizens, and indeed, there are these armed militia groups. We know organizations like the Proud Boys. Tario, the head of it, is Hispanic. And indeed, there is some diversity among the Oath Keepers. But I think what's more frightening is the fact that they, for a long time, have prioritized recruiting active and retired law enforcement and military. We thought, Mike, they weren't being successful. We were wrong. We have a problem with an enemy inside our own ranks who has committed, as the Oath Keepers do, to uphold a higher oath, not to have fidelity to our commander-in-chief or necessarily to the jurisdictions where they work, but to their notion of the Constitution and a holy obligation that, again, puts minorities, puts Democrats, and puts ordinary citizens in their crosshairs.
CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, thank you very much for coming on this morning.
So again, just got to keep reiterating this point, keep, repetition in regards to this video. And one thing that kind of just stood out to me today that, finally kind of clicked is he said this list was, they got a hold of this list last September. So not last month, but last year in September. And this information is just now coming out before the elections for, of course, coming into November. So that was very interesting to me of how they kind of sat on this information for basically a whole year. And then, hey, just to let you all know before you guys run to those polls, folks that you're voting for, they were the ones that kind of stormed or that did storm the Capitol on January 6th. So we're not going to tell you exactly who they are, but just know that, a lot of your politicians that you'll be voting for within these upcoming elections were pretty much involved in it. So take that how you may. So that was very interesting to me. Anybody kind of want to build off that?
And I'll just ask a simple question. I mean, I know they put that out, but has Biden said anything about it?
Haven't heard nothing.
Right. In addition to Biden, the president saying anything, who are the 79 people? We're not asking that question. He said 80 people are running for public office. He mentioned one out of Arizona. Who's the other 79? I'm gonna keep reiterating. He's saying militia. He's not talking about a nonprofit organization or no justice, no peace, no rallies. He's talking this week in Arizona, the same state that he outed that an active militia member is running for public office. The militia was at the voting polls.
Correct.
This week. And that goes right over our head because we're so focused on entertainment, and I'll step back and look at the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League. Why is it that Jews create everything that we have? Why is it that the Jews created the NAACP? Why is it that the Jews created HBCUs? See, we don't want to ask these questions. Everything that we have, they created for us.
Correct.
And I just think it's very interesting, those that are in high management or entrepreneurship, why is everybody avoiding when Kanye said, take the top 10 contracts out of every industry and let's do a live debate with the best lawyers and just look at the common trend about how we're all getting fucked. Nobody wants to talk about that with Kanye. Everybody wants to, I'll say, low-hanging fruit. They want to advertise the low-hanging fruit. He spoke about George Floyd. They ain't even touching the Jew comment. That's another debate you could have live on platform and have 1 million people on that video. Take your best scholars from the Jewish set and take your best scholars that are melanated, and y'all break down that Bible and just for clarity.
Been doing that since early, what I say, definitely 2010s. They was signing at a TV talk, going back and forth on topics about who's the Jews. So yeah,
he opened the door.
People know about this stuff. But like you said,
because that Jew thing, when you look into it, it's not a race. They really created their identity through the Bible. So then if Kanye opened the door and was like, I'm the Jew, we need to look at that literature and find out who. But see, the fact that you don't even want to have that discussion means you want to stay in ignorance. I'm gonna stop right there. Just ask questions about everything.
Correct. And like how you said, they like to skate over the real questions that should be asked, but like you said, want to pick at little things that he might have said. No, he's asking valid questions. Why don't we go ahead and get the top 10 contracts in each of these industries? Why don't we go ahead and see who the actual Jew is compared to your religious text too? within your religious text, who is that person that they're talking about. So no, those are great points. And just another example, Jonathan Greenblatt, I believe he's Jewish. So we have the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League talking about, militia members in the US government, but also, again, in that high management position over another organization, like you stated, NAACP, HBCUs, and now the Anti-Defamation Leagues, which basically marks people as being hate groups, or marks organizations as hate groups. So just questions to ask yourselves as the viewer.
And the only reason I'm throwing that out about who created it, if we created our own Anti-Defamation League, then the Ku Klux Klan would have RICO charges. The United States government would have RICO charges, but as long as you letting another group of people create your entities, you're never gonna get RICO charges on the Ku Klux Klan. So you see the bait and switch. You got one set of Europeans, Jews, creating all your organizations for the prisoners of war on the land, and they drop the topic in the bowl that they want you to talk about. You're not coming up with your own topics. That's why I don't deal with media. I don't watch football. It's been 3 years. I'm not on Facebook or anything like that on a personal level. If it's not about operating in commerce, I don't deal with social media because it's programmed us to be reactive. And the COVID-19 shock test was proof of that. They know that about 60% of the people out here are Simple Simon motherfuckers. If we run that advertising enough, they'll go do it. We're 1 year to this month. A year ago well, actually almost 12 months. We're 1 year almost coming in November where people went and took shots to keep a job. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. The people who run this industry knew. We got them. Now all the information is coming out that there was no animal testing done. There's all kinds of side effects, but that's besides the point. That campaign's over with. They're not bombarding you with it no more. Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson made huge amounts of money had you invested in their shares 2 years ago when Donald Trump enacted the Defense Production Act. Had you invested in it then, you'd be sitting right now 2 years later up. Just dropping that in there. But we forget because we're one track minded. It was a marketing scheme on the world.
No, great point. Great points there. And I think they even had something that just came out too in regards to New York. I believe those who were terminated because they didn't take the vaccine are now able to get their jobs back with back pay, I believe. So again, like you just said, just highlights the what is it? Pretty much, I guess that herd mentality. Okay, I guess we all got to go ahead and do it, just because the master said, let's go ahead and get these shots, type of thing, but not sitting
The
back.
Jews said.
Facts. Go ahead and get this shot. If you want to keep your jobs, again, 2 years later, or really a year later, hey, you really didn't have to get that shot. And if you did, sorry. But without further ado, we'll jump into the 12 steps. And I think this ties greatly into what we just discussed in regards to Kanye and just, putting our energy into the system and what we do have as far as what we can control, utilizing that tool to actually have some sort of power. And that would be pretty much just withholding our dollar. But I'll start here with number one. Number one, learn about the estate or estates your family originated from. Number two, who established that estate. Number three, what tribe and confederacy had jurisdiction over that area prior to the European. Number four, ask all nonprofit organizations you attend, what's your position on reparations? Number five, they either support it or they don't. No support, no money. However, if they support it, then children and adults need weekly classes free of charge about steps 1, 2, and 3. In addition, field trips to APOW landmarks in that city, county, and state are needed. Number six, don't support European holidays for the remainder of the 13-week time frame. Number 7, avoid spending money with any small business that does not hire your people. Gas stations, so example, gas stations, nail salons, Subways, corner stores, etc. Number 8, all businesses need operating cash. Spend money with American businesses. Number 9, all other groups rely on our energy and operating cash to survive. Set the trends of making other groups follow our lead and support our clubs, services, products, and entertainment. Number 10, the US government is bankrupt. The Federal Reserve prints money, i.e. quantitative easing, and it burns money, i.e. quantitative tightening. The US dollar has been backed by gold since Richard Nixon in 1971, the gold standard act. The government operates off the full faith of its citizens to pay debt and taxes. American prisoners of war no longer have faith in the US government. This is why financial support will be altered, stopped, and redirected. Step 11, teach your children 1 hour a day about their history on this land. A, have them learn about an American inventor. B, have them know about our heroes. C, they should know the European that conquered the estate you live in. And D, they should know the nation of people prior to European invasion, militarily and culturally. Step 12, practicing these steps will educate us on the land we're claiming America and attaches us to the history and laws of the US government. Every estate American prisoners of war live in should have steps 1, 2, and 3 advertised via social media, radio, and newspaper. This in 13 weeks, 1 fiscal quarter, will bring us together for our common cause. So those are our 12 steps of recovery. And if we were to just practice these steps, I know Chief Blackcoat highlighted this last week, we don't have anything in writing. We don't have a agenda, a plan, a code of conduct. This is it. This is it right here. And if we just follow pretty much, if you just wanted to do steps 4 through 10, we'll be in such a better position than we are currently. Again, just being conscious of where we are allocating these funds. We know it's not money, so we'll call it what it is, it's fiat. If we were to focus and, be in control of our money instead of having our, again, let me rephrase that, being in control of this fiat instead of having this fiat control us, we'll be in much better position for that. So again, just redirecting that energy, redirecting that support, and having it focused on one clear goal as a group of people. And I'll let y'all build on that.
No, Chief, as you was reading, I was saying, yeah, we need it. The people need this. Like Chief Alligator said, that repetition. As you're reading, I'm like, yeah, this, if we can really understand what the steps are saying, know yourself, don't give your money away to just anybody, and pretty much do your own thing, become self-sufficient. Same thing this group of people have done. It's the same thing, that they have a 13-week practical, whatever. But yeah, as you were reading it, I was like, yeah, man, we gotta put that out.
Yeah, I think our problem is it's so simple that we think we can just brush over it. I'm on the opposite side, Chief Biko. You said 4 through 10. I'm gonna say 1, 2, and 3. We gotta know who we are. That's why our politics are so fucked up. We get caught up in ideologies, belief systems. No, just look at your family. Who are you? And then once you get grounded in who you come from and who you really are, none of this other shit really matters. You can look at somebody and say, you're not American, you're a US citizen. It's just that simple. You got Americans and you got US citizens. The fact that people can look in your, for me personally, once I really embodied this and started walking in this, I don't have other groups of people looking me in my eyes saying that they're American because they know better. But because we're ignorant of who we are, we got other groups of people fresh off the boat with immigration papers talking about they're American. That's disrespectful to us. Disrespectful to your mom, disrespectful to your grandma, and disrespectful to your big mama, your great grandmama. So it's like, I don't know what it's going to take for us to sit down. I think that's what every other group has done. That's why they're organized. If we're using the Jews as a comparison, they came out the Holocaust, they sat down, they organized, They built their infrastructure, and here they are about 60 years after their Holocaust, and they basically are telling an American through the media, nigga, watch your fucking mouth. Don't even ask us about whether we real or not. Keep our name out your mouth. Why can't we have that same energy with them? Keep slave out your mouth. Don't talk about, you understand? What's y'all thoughts on that? Like, you got to put your nuts on the table sometimes.
No, you said a mouthful right there. You said yeah, you summed that up real well. Chief Biko said 4 through 10. I agree, but I like how you came back with the rebuttal 1, 2, 3. That's just 3. And like you said, knowing yourself, once you know your stuff, you stand on it. We confused out here. So a lot of people is like, oh, I'll go do that then. Oh, who said that? Oh, I'll go do that then. No, like, let's 3 on this channel. We won't just move just because people want us to move. You really got to come with some facts. You really got to come with some paperwork and identify yourself. I don't care what the TV say. That TV need to come to life and shake my hand and say, do you get it? But till then, no, I don't get it.
No, them excellent points. And that kind of just, when you said that 1 through 3, kind of just brought me back to something you said last week too, Chief Blackcoat, like his last name, you know, the Roberts, and I forget the other side, you said your family. I'm gonna die about that. Because like you said, that's my lineage. I'm an American. I'm gonna make sure, you know, I'm dying about mine. This, I know where I'm from. This is my land, my people. So, you know, that's a great point though. Like, and once we have that foundation of, you know, clarity, then it says, okay, nah, I'm definitely gonna fight for this because, you know, my people from here. So yeah, that's a different type of mentality to have. And like you said, that is the foundation. That's why steps 1 through 3. You got to know yourself before you can fight for anything that you don't really have clarity on. Once you know where you're from, once you know, yeah, my people been here for all this time, nah, yeah. Now you can start looking at the world through a clearer vision, because you start to see, okay, why do they have control in regards to what the American says on his land? What's going on here? What's going on? His shit ain't adding up. So now that's a great point. Great point.
And I kind of just learned that from the Middle East, from the Afghanis, you know, from them group of people. They die by theirs.
Facts.
We go watch football and drink alcohol, take shots, hit the blunt, and then forget about it. They don't get that privilege. Even though I love sports, but it's just that sometimes keep me off of the edge.
I feel you. With that, Chief Alligator, I believe you had the inventor for this week.
Yep, I'm gonna share my screen real quick, get into it. Hold on, where we at? All right, this week's inventor is going to be Lyde, L-Y-D-E-W Benjamin. Waiting on my page to populate back up. This individual invented the combined broom moistener and bridle. That's a scientific way of saying the broom in the dustpan. Let me pull up the image real quick. Move this to the side, blow this up a little bit. So we can see L.W. Benjamin, he invented the broom, and he also invented the device that you would put the broom in. This device would allow water to drip out of it. And it also would allow for dust not to circulate in the air. That was the original concept of him inventing this broom. Lyde W. Benjamin, federal patent number US 497747 Alpha. He invented this broom May 16th, 1893. He lived in Boston, Massachusetts. His invention was new and useful improvements to the combined broom moistener and bridle. The object of this invention was to keep the broom moist while sweeping without being so wet as to drip, and to prevent the dust from rising. Also to bind together the straws of the broom, thereby preventing them from spreading, causing the broom to last longer and enabling it to do better work. So he went into very fine detail, even with the spacing of the what's the word he used? The straws. He actually got that detail with how far the straws should be spaced from each other to keep the broom from spreading so that you can get more life out of it. So when you go to the dollar store today or wherever you go to purchase a broom, we also created that invention. And his family, as well as our group of people, do not receive any percentage of income from this invention that was given to the world. That's this week's inventor, Lyde W. Benjamin.
Thank you there, Chief Alligator. And next we'll go ahead and have Chief Black Coat with this week's Dr. Carter G. Woodson quote. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you. And yeah, just let me know which one you want to do.
I apologize. I think I'm feeling number 3 today. So it is well understood that by teaching of history, the European man could be further assured of his superiority, and the Negro could be made to feel that he had always been a failure, and that the subjection of his will to some other race is necessary. The freedman then would be still a slave. If you can control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. When you determine what a man should think, you don't have to be concerned. You do not have to concern yourself about what he will do. And that's just, hate to keep bringing up, we're not gonna bring up anybody. Moving forward for me is free thinking and understanding how to do for self, being able to speak what you want to say and stand on it and not be afraid of any repercussions, because why should there be if I'm not actually harming somebody? You know, maybe my speech supports a group of people. So why can't this group of people be supported? Why do I have to keep the mug or the gag in my mouth? So I just felt number 3 was important to speak out about today.
Definitely a great quote for this week. Like you said, just summarizes pretty much what we've been discussing the past, really 2 to 3 weeks, I say. So now that's a great quote. I'll go ahead and continue with this week's, the legal definitions as well as Maroon historical points. Number 1, American, indigenous to America. Number 2, descendants, one who follows in the bloodline of an ancestor, either linearly or collaterally. Number 3, slavery, a situation in which one person has absolute power over the life, fortune, and liberty of another. Number 4, prisoner of war, a person, usually a soldier, who is captured by or surrenders to the enemy in wartime. Number 5, school, any institution in which instruction is given in a particular discipline. Number 6, education, an enlightening experience. Number 7, recovery, a return to a normal state of health, mind, or strength, the action or process of regaining possession of something stolen or lost. And as far as our 5 Maroon historical points, number 1, was a person escaping slavery, seeking freedom, or breaking the law. Number 2, providing unity and a strong defense came first. Number 3, Maroon leaders were first and foremost military figures. Number 4, Maroons established guerrilla warfare, planting sharp sticks in thick grass. And number 5, Maroons knew their European enemies' language, defenses, and plans. And those are our Maroon historical points. All right. And last week we had jumped into the 1957 Civil Rights Act. This would be the first Civil Rights Act to come, or the first be established, you could say. So we'll go ahead and continue with this. I forget where we stopped off. Let me see here. All right.
Where did we
Scroll
stop?
down. You did you were reading the rules and procedures of the commission that was established by the president.
I think we got into
I think we got here.
Into section 103 or
Above, upon payment of cost thereof. So you probably had to start from the page.
Gotcha. Blow this up a little bit. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and start here. Subsection I, upon payment of the cost thereof, a witness may obtain a transcript copy of his testimony given at a public session or if given at an executive session when authorized by the commission. Subsection J, a witness attending any session of the commission shall receive 84 for each day's attendance. For each day's attendance and for the time necessarily occupied in going to and returning from the same, and 8 cents per mile for going from and returning to his place of residence. Witnesses who attend at points so far removed from their respective residence as to prohibit return thereto from day to day shall be entitled to an additional allowance of $12 per day for expenses of subsistence, including the time necessarily occupied in going to and returning from the place of attendance. Mileage payment shall be tendered to the witness upon service of a subpoena issued on behalf of the commission or any subcommittee thereof. Subsection K, the commission shall not issue any subpoena for the attendance and testimony of witnesses or for the production of written or other matter which would require the presence of the party subpoenaed at a hearing to be held outside of the state wherein the witness is found or resides or transacts business. So again, these were just pretty much the procedures that they would be going through in regards to this Civil Rights Act. And now we're going to get into the actual sections of it.
Well, let's put it in context real quick. This comes from the executive branch, which is the president. So we know Congress makes laws, but Congress didn't decide this. This is what the president in 1957 decided. I'll do a commission. And now he's setting up the parameters for who's going to get compensated to go down into the South and start interviewing people about why is it that you want civil rights now? This is what's going on. See what I'm saying? Our grandparents are living under Jim Crow, but the government is setting up a commission to act as if they don't know that they're waging unlawful war on us. That's basically, they're playing dumb.
Gotcha, makes sense. Makes sense there. Okay. Let me see here. Compensation of, what does that say? Members of the commission. Section 103A. Each member of the commission who is not otherwise in the service of the government of the United States shall receive the sum of $30 per day for each day spent in the work of the commission, shall be reimbursed for actual and necessary travel expenses, and shall receive a per diem allowance of $12 in lieu of actual expenses and subsistence when away from his usual place of residence, inclusive of fees or tips to porters and stewards. B, subsection B, each member of the commission who is otherwise in service of the government of the United States shall serve without compensation in addition to that received for such other service, but while engaged in the work of the commission shall be reimbursed for actual and necessary travel expenses and shall receive a per diem allowance of $12 in lieu of actual expenses for subsistence when away from his usual place of residence, inclusive of fees or tips to porters and stewards. So in that first subsection, it states those who are not in service of the U.S. government. So those who are, I guess, usually wouldn't work underneath the U.S. government will be paid $30 per day, and then also get that per diem allowance of $12 for any type of expenses. And those that are in service, so those that are underneath the government's umbrella as far as employment, would only be given that $12 in lieu. So they wouldn't be compensated anything additional. That's what I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's actually $50 per day for the people that aren't in the federal government. But yeah, that's all they're doing, just setting up. It's a money play. They're gonna get paid to investigate Jim Crow.
Interesting. I'll pick up
Like
here.
you mentioned, playing dumb as if they don't already know what's going on. So when they came up with this executive order, what are they just trying to save their asses? Or what's this whole play for? But yeah, I guess that, you know, the government, you know, there's an executive order, so it's like the president has to be presidential.
Well, to
Yada
be
yada
honest
yada.
with you, there's a movie coming out right now that's right in alignment with where we are on this channel, and it's called Emmett Till. Emmett Till's murder is what sparked this portion of the civil rights. So if we compare that to today, that would be like Tamir Rice. You see what I'm saying? When they killed Emmett Till, everybody started, it wasn't the lynchings that triggered it. It was that Emmett Till murder that was like, wait a minute. And Buddy was his father was in World War II battle. So he's not home. And so his son gets killed while he's off to battle. And you're going to notice that theme that we get wrapped up in their wars, which takes the man from out of the house. And then you start seeing towns get burnt, or kids starting to get hung.
Yeah.
Just to throw that in, that's why this 1950 Civil Rights Act, it goes right in alignment with Emmett Till.
I'll pick up where Chief Pico.
Okay.
Duties of the commission, section 104A, the commission shall investigate, number one, investigate allegations in writing, under oath or affiliation, that certain citizens of the United States are being deprived of their right to vote and have the vote counted by reason of their color, race, religion, or I don't know what that word is right there. What is that, you guys? Looks like nutritional to me.
National origin.
National origins, which writing under oath or affiliation, affirmation shall set forth the facts upon which such belief or beliefs are based. All right, so that's kind of straightforward, pretty much what they're investigating. Voter suppression, we're still talking about that today. Number two, study and collect information concerning legal developments consisting in denial of equal protection of the laws under the Constitution, and appraise the laws and policies of the federal government with respect to equal protection of the law under the Constitution. Again, straightforward, just pretty much laying down with the duties of the commission. Go down to section B. The commission shall submit intern reports to the president and to the Congress at such times as either the commission or the president shall deem desirable, and shall submit to the president and to the Congress a final and comprehensive report of his activities, findings, and recommendations not later than 2 years from the date of the enactment of this act. Section C, 60 days after the submission of its final report and recommendations, the commission shall cease to exist. So 60 days after this commissioner's duties, just pretty much their job was done. They had 2 months.
Right, go back up real quick, Chief Biko, to the section he just read. Just highlight that first under subsection 1, right there where it says oath or affirmation. Move your cursor up a little bit right there. Well, if it won't let you highlight it, that's fine. But an affirmation is nothing but an affidavit. It's a statement of facts. And so basically what the president is saying is, okay, this commission, y'all know how y'all gonna get paid now. Here's what I need you to do. Y'all gonna go down into the South and y'all gonna investigate allegations in writing under oath or affirmation. If you hear the word affirmation, just think affidavit. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a statement of facts. So that's what they're going into the South. Again, like you said earlier, Chief Blackcoat, playing dumb, as if they know that these people aren't voting. They can know based on the numbers, right? So they know that it's a large group of people in the South that's not voting. They already know they're waging war we're sitting up here talking about our history in the early 1900s as if, like, we'll use the word lynching, but we won't call it what it is, which is they were really warring against us. If that's not a war measure, and help me out on this, Chief Black Coat, Chief Biko, what we call the lynching era, because we're ignorant to our own history, how could about 100 to 50 people go to town square in any town in North America, hang an American, take pictures, put that event on a postcard, and nothing criminal happens? Why is that called a lynching when that's really acts of war? Y'all want to build on that before I'll pick up the reading after that? Y'all want to build on that, how they use these terms like Jim Crow, lynching? It's just acts of war.
Mhm.
If
Just-
not, y'all help me understand what our history really looks like.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely see that. I see what you're saying. Yeah. What else would that be if we want to take the lynching word out of it? Acts of war, especially if it's multiple groups of people at one time hanging other groups of people. That sounds like war to me. That sounds like raging chaos on another group of people.
No, it definitely sounds like war crimes. Just like we were to set the picture of, I don't know, US troops in Iraq and they're holding a dead Al-Qaeda member's head or something, like, hey, look, we got him. It's pretty much the same thing in regards to, like you said, with the lynchings and Jim Crow laws. Nothing's happening. And it's funny, number 2, it says study and collect information. Like you said, like they weren't aware of what is actually, taking place. And it rings
On postcards,
like you're seeing it being sent within your US Postal Service. Like you're seeing these things, and it just seems it rhymes with today in regards to the reparations. We're going to study and collect information as if that it isn't clear, obvious and clear of how we
Yeah,
are.
we need
That again, you've taken all of our industries, don't receive any compensation or benefits from it. Like the list goes on in regards to everything that we need to be prepared for. And this is a clear example of one of the things that still needs to be repaired or needs to have reparations for as well. So yeah, it's just a almost like filing a complaint to your HR person about sexual harassment or something. Like we just gonna make sure we document it just for our, company purposes, but we're not really going to do anything in regards to that person that's, causing that harassment to you. But we're just gonna make sure we're notated. Something else comes up, then we can say, hey, we do have it on file that, such and such did this, but no action is really coming up out of it for our group in regards to that.
You're in corporate, so you're speaking from knowing and not just guessing, and that kind of breaks my heart, knowing that's how that goes in these big time companies. Just notated. No, where's the action? How is he still coming to work?
Correct.
This woman is, or this man, it goes both ways nowadays.
Mhm.
Terrified to come to work, but they got to put food on the table. I can't leave. That hurts.
Absolutely.
Can you stop sharing for 1 second, Chief Biko? And I'll pick up the next one.
Okay.
I just want y'all to see what a postcard looks like of us getting lynched, because they've sanitized our history over the years. We would see a couple of these images when I was coming up in high school. They would have a couple of these pictures.
What, in your textbooks and stuff?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they'll have a picture of somebody getting sick, somebody getting bit by a dog with the MLK thing, and lynching photographs. I'm just gonna click on images real quick. And again, we're just showing this because the United States government wants to act at this particular time in 1957 as if they don't know what's going on, and they want to create a commission. Let's see if it's gonna let me.
Like Chief Biko said, the U.S. Postal posting it. It's actually doing it. So you know what's going on. That's government.
You see it? Let me click on one. Move my screen.
Oh,
This
party.
was an event. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to image in your mind. No, they would show up in town square,
Wow.
build the hanging station. You can see the hanging station right here. Just get lynched. Go ahead. That's what I want us to this is an actual war when none of these people are accessory to murder.
Facts.
We have to understand that there's no criminal charges coming from this. It's like, hey, we got an American come out 12 o'clock on Sunday. We lynching one. Yeah.
And two things just popped in my
Here's
mind. You know, they're off that. They come off that boat.
Yeah, here's
Look
another
how
one.
many it is. It's like,
Look, you see women and men. And you can
Some
see
got children.
the person right here. And they got a woman. They got a woman. This is American woman. This is American man. And you see all these Europeans here. There's no criminal charges. You don't see the police coming mass arresting them. No. So again, I just want, are these acts of war, y'all? Do we hide behind the word lynching and not really want to deal with the fact these people were warring against us?
Like you
still
said,
is today.
hide behind all of these different terms, but at the end of the day, it's war being waged on the American. We're militarily occupied. Nothing like this can happen unless you are being militarily occupied. If they didn't have that arm, that military, if they didn't deputize their civilians to say, hey, you guys are good to go, like,
If
then
the president didn't back this and was okay with it.
This isn't, this is a part of the system. Of course, they don't need to study it because they already have empowered it, empowered this behavior to their citizens. We read that in the, what was it, the Civil Rights, 1865 one, how they was deputizing the civilians. So yeah, they don't need to study that. They know exactly what's going on.
Can y'all see the two people hanging from the tree clearer on this one? And again, I'm only showing this because these are postcards. You see, it says one black and white photographic postcard of the lynching of Thomas Shipp and Abram Smith in Marion, Indiana, 1930. So 2 American men hung, and you got about 50 Europeans standing here. And I'm just trying to put in context for us mentally. If you're not prisoners of war,
What do you call this?
Why is it that we weren't doing that to them?
Correct.
You're watching a group of them stand around dead bodies, and there will be no investigation of
That's
what's
crazy.
That's real.
It's real. And I was just saying something similar to this. I ain't gonna say that on the channel, but I was just speaking about this maybe 48 hours ago. But you mentioned, you know, how they kind of take this out of our schools. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Really?
And in high school, middle school, it wasn't until I got to college and started actually studying American history. And shout out to my professor, I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, he used to post this in front of us. He used to have a slideshow of where we came from, and that shit hurt when I was young. So my heart all messed up. I'm looking at this like, bro, you putting this on in class, dog? Like, we don't want to see this, but you have to see it.
Right.
You need to see it.
I'll pick up the reading so we can kind of won't stay stuck. I just wanted to throw that up. Not a shocker, but thank you for sharing that, Chief Biko, that y'all didn't get that in high school. We did. So
Hell no.
So we're on the powers of the commission. There should be a full-time staff director for the commission who shall be appointed by the president by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, and who shall receive compensation at a rate to be fixed by the president, not in excess of $22,500 a year. The president shall consult with the commission before submitting the nomination of any person for appointment to the position of staff director. Within the limitations of its appropriations, the commission may appoint such other personnel as it deems advisable in accordance with the civil service and classification laws, and may procure services as authorized by Section 15 of the Act of August 2nd, 1946, but at rates for individuals not in excess of $50 per diem. So the president is going to put, with the consent of the Senate, Congress, they're going to put somebody over the commission. They're going to make a salary of $22,500 a year, basically, is what I'm getting from that paragraph. Subsection B, the commission shall not accept or utilize services of voluntary or uncompensated personnel. And the term whoever, as used in paragraph G of section 102 hereof, shall be construed to mean a person whose services are compensated by the United States. So they're clearing up who can get paid and who can't get paid with the term whoever. Subsection C, the commission may constitute such advisory committees within states composed of citizens of that state and may consult with governors, attorneys general, and other representatives of state and local governments and private organizations as it deems advisable. That's a catch. Because if you're not recognized as a citizen in 1957 and you can't vote, then that means that you're not going to be a part of any one of these bodies that they just mentioned in section C. You're not going to be a representative of the state, local government. The only thing you could come in as is private organizations, which would be the church, right? But that's only as is deemed advisable. So if they don't suggest that you be a part of the conversation, you're going to have a group of Europeans talking about what's best for you. And that's our problem. We keep letting other groups of people tell us what's best for us. That makes no sense to me, y'all. Like this whole thing with Ye and the Jews, it's not about Ye individually or the Jews as a group. It's about why does another group of people dictate what the fuck we want? But nobody wants to have that conversation. Nobody wants to have that conversation. We stuck in this minority, as a group, we're stuck in this minority mentality where other people have to tell us what's best for us. And then you wonder why you lose. Subsection D, members of the commission and members of advisory committees constituted pursuant to subsection C of this section shall be exempt from the operation of sections 281, 283, 284, 434, and 1914 of Title 18 of the United States Code and sections 190 of the revisal statute. So now he's given an out, letting the members of the commission know and the advisory committees that they should be exempt. Now, we don't know what they're exempt from, but they are exempt. Subsection E, all federal agencies shall cooperate fully with the commission to the end that it may effectively carry out its functions and duties. So the president is enacting all federal agencies, again, playing dumb. Let's go down in the South and let's understand what the gripe is about our prisoners of war. They're saying that they're not treated as citizens. They can't vote. They can't hold state jobs. They can't go to state colleges. All of this was going on. You heard Muhammad Ali say he couldn't go in restaurants, but y'all want to put him on TV as the world champ, right? But he can't even go to downtown Louisville if it says whites only. So we can see a theme from 1957 to 2022. They're going to play dumb with your benign and neglect. Y'all want to build on that?
I mean, shoot, like you said, we just see it constant reminder of it. You know, sweep this under the rug. Let's talk about this. Give you guys topics to talk about. Another example of, you know, just the Kanye situation. Let's not focus on the valid questions he's asking in regards to who's actually controlling the media. Let's focus on, you know, what he said about George Floyd, and let's focus on the DEFCON 3 statement. You know, let's focus that. Let's focus on that versus the actual real questions that should be asked. You know, we're not going to, don't ask us about reparations. And we're, you know, even if this politician looks like you, don't ask them about reparations because they know they're not supposed to answer anything about that. Like, so we'll continue to, you know, benign and neglect you, still ask for you all's vote and consent to continue to fuck you over, but don't ask us for anything specific. Yeah, it's like basically having a 5-year-old going to a candy store and telling them don't pick out any candy. Like, what do you, We're not going to give you any damn thing. Don't ask for nothing when we go in here. And like, that's basically us right now. We're that child asking for stuff, but constantly don't get it. But we're still having faith that, you know, this parent, this guardian, this master is going to, you know, hand us or give us what we're asking for. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen in 1957, and that trend is continuing today.
You Black Coat, you gonna build on that? You good or?
I bet I had a secondary conversation going on, so I kind of missed out on that bill. I apologize.
What we left off at.
If I can get through subsection F.
Okay.
The commission, or on the authorization of the commission, any subcommittee or 2 or more members, at least one of whom shall be of each major political party, may, for the purpose of carrying out the provisions of this act, hold such hearings and act at such times and places as the commissioner or such authorized subcommittee may deem advisable. Subpoenas for the attendance and testimony of witnesses or the production of written or other matter may be issued in accordance with the rules of the commission as contained in section 102J and K of this act over the signature of the chairman of the commission or of such subcommittee, and may be served by any person designated by such chairman. What jumps out to me right here is they're going to bring you up under Democrat and Republican when it says that at the top, at least one of whom shall be of each major political party. So you're already being benign and neglected, but we're going to send a Democrat and a Republican political party member in lieu of all these other federal agencies. And we're going to act as if, well, what's going on down here in the South? Let's play dumb and let's try to figure out, really, y'all been getting hung in trees and no murder charges? So we're just going to play dumb. Because you don't have a voice within their government, because you're not at the city, county, or state level. I think we really got to understand that.
I deemed advisable.
We really got to get it that our grandparents were not a part of this government in any capacity. So you weren't clerk of court, you weren't judges, you weren't even police officers. You weren't a part of it.
And that hurts because you always bring that up, Chief Delegator, about how we fought in every war. It makes me think about my grandfather who fought in the war, and he was never being compensated for how his body broke down. And when I found that out, I was like, wow, he wasn't getting a disability check. He wasn't part of the government.
Yep. I'm gonna finish off subsection G. In case of continuance or refusal to obey a subpoena, any district court of the United States or the United States court of any territory or possession, or the district court of the United States for the District of Columbia, within the jurisdiction of which the inquiry is carried on, or within the jurisdiction of which said person guilty of continuance or refusal to obey is found, or resides or transacts business, upon application by the Attorney General of the United States, shall have jurisdiction to issue to such person an order requiring such person to appear before the commission or a subcommittee thereof, there to produce evidence of so ordered, or there to give testimony touching the matter under investigation, and any failure to obey such order of the court may be punished by said court as a contempt thereof. So a lot of out clauses to this whole thing. You got a foreign government, militarily occupying North America. We're maybe 60 to 70 years into the undeclared Seminole Wars. And so here we see an uprising with the death of Emmett Till. You can see these people are starting to rebel with the Deacons of Defense. Now, keep in mind, we're killing Europeans too. Even though we're segregated, they're going to edit that part of history out. But if they got caught in our neighborhoods, we were killing them as well. And so now the government has to get involved and starts to investigate what's going on down there in the South. And so this was the start of it. We'll stop right there for this week. We come up on the hour mark, but everybody can share their closing thoughts on where we are in our history As of 1957, we see this government setting up a commission to study. We're in 2022 and 2019, the federal government did a hearing to study reparations. So we can see a theme here where you keep trying to play by their rules. And how's that working out for us?
Probably off topic, but on topic always. I'm seeing a lot of posts from our women who have children talking about the kids are sick. And I'm like, you know, every year we get sick, but it looks more, you know, alarming. And I'm just like, we gotta, like I said in the beginning, that TV gotta come alive and shake my hand. You know, we gotta stop letting the media, we gotta stop having other people have to study was like we're some type of experiment. We need to come with our paperwork in hand. This is what it is. With our militias or whatever we want to call it, and stand on it. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. I heard she got a couple of things planned for us. You know, she becomes the governor. I know, but at least she's speaking in those terms, you know, and having us written down on paper. So that's kind of my closing statements.
No, definitely just seeming a common theme, just common rhyming in regards to, you know, this government's history. Like you said, having to study what is going on in the South in regards to this act during 1957. Like what's actually going on, as if you're not aware, having to study, you know, the impact that slavery and Jim Crow era had on the Black Americans, as if you don't know, as if you're not aware, as if you didn't have a whole study in 1957 that we're reading now. So it's just, you know, just like you said, we're going to have, you know, our documents in hand to say, because we know that it's going to continue to just be pushed off to the side. So we have to have our, you know, stuff in order, have our documents, our affidavits, our, you know, statement of facts, and then have that warrior arm behind us as we do it. That's the only way things get done. Only way we get into these rooms to have these actual conversations to make things get done. So that just seems to be the common trend that I'm seeing here.
Like Grandmaster Jason say, we want Texas. Give us Texas, we'll build a wall, separate ourselves from these fuck niggas, because clearly they're not going nowhere unless we do something about it. But give us Texas, it's big enough. Let's go to Texas, fuck it. Build a wall.
I'm saying the Southeast region, because you wage unlawful war. So everything from the Carolinas all the way over to Louisiana, everything southeast of the Mississippi.
You always coming back. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. But no, my closing statement is, can we see that history rhymes and keeps repeating itself? Show me a group of people that don't know their history, and I'm gonna show you a group with fucked up politics. And so our politics are fucked up because we really do not know that we're the American. This flag behind me is the American form of government. You can see it says Black Land on one side, Shiloh on the top, and can't decode the other
like
tribe.
face.
Right, but those are all tribes that are under the Confederacy. So the reality for our group of people is we've never been on one page about everything. Each tribe had its different thing. One tribe may be agricultural, another tribe may be with the shits, another tribe may be operating good in commerce, but we all came together in a Confederate meeting and everybody agreed on certain things. One thing that we all have to agree on is they can't keep killing us. I'm gonna keep saying it. If you can let another group of people kill your people, then everything else is just water under the bridge. Any disrespect after that is not even disrespect, because they're killing you and walking away. No different than lynching your ass in the 50s, everybody gathering in town square and then going home. That's what they're doing now, but the world is seeing it.
Yeah, No, facts.
I
And
don't
I'm
think we
glad you
really
said
get
that. No, I'm glad
I
you
don't
said
even want us to put us in cages. I don't want us to be able to lock us up. We lock our own people up. We punish our own people. You know, you don't get to determine nothing when it comes to the melanated people, the American people.
No, I like what you said though in regards to that disrespect, because I was watching Roland last week, and it was harping on, how can we ask people to respect us if we don't even respect ourselves? But that just comes into the argument when he was saying, just about Kanye, wearing White Lives Matter. But again, all of that, like you said, Chief Alligator, is water under the bridge. When you can let another group of people kill you on camera, have nothing done about that, that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. So fuck what somebody's saying. Your people are getting killed and dying on video. Everything after that is just trinkets. That's the major issue. That's the major disrespect. So when it comes to like having that energy, like, oh, we gotta respect ourselves, yeah, by self-preservation. How come it wasn't 50,000 ready to go, boots on the ground after George Floyd? Everybody saw it. Why didn't you put that on your media outlets? All of this, black media. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to, talk about some other stuff. You didn't want to be held accountable to saying, okay, we need to go ahead and join forces. Like you said, we all got our different lanes, but when it comes to our people's livelihood and like survival, we have to be on one accord. You damn, I don't give a damn what religion he practiced. I don't give a damn what theology he thinks, this is. That brother looks like me. You just killed the brother on camera and y'all think y'all gonna walk away from this shit? Oh, nah. Give a damn what they talking about. Nah, that's one of us. So that's supposed to be the foundation right there. So it was just interesting to see that. And yeah, we still bicker about little things, but when it comes to that, it's like we always want to make excuses or put who's supposed to be holding the justice system, like they're supposed to be accountable for, making sure they get. No, you are. That's your people. Why aren't you holding that person accountable? This system ain't doing shit for you, so why are you continue to act like they are going to do something? You really just don't want to be accountable for your group of people and for yourself to say, nah, we gonna hold them to justice. Damn, what y'all talking about?
I'm scratching my head to understand, where do we go pussy at? Because in my 20s, this wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Or growing up, this wasn't happening. Cops weren't coming in a neighborhood and killing people. It just wasn't happening. Like, our neighborhoods, they weren't jogging through them. And I'm just saying, I don't know where we went pussy at. I don't know if it was early 2000s. It had to be, because Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, whenever those years or whatever year that was. But this has become the normal. And I'm really trying to understand, why can't we just all agree that you will not kill our kids? Like, if we can't come together on nothing else, let's just come with the fact that you're not killing us no more. And thinking that you're just going to walk away. Like, your house will get burnt down.
Right.
Your car would explode. Like, there's enough of us that have different skill sets, where the same way these Jews get that respect, like, oh, you said their name, that repercussions are coming. Why is it that, okay, so you're just gonna kill us on video and post that shit online? That's cool. Fuck your court case. Fuck all of that.
Yeah.
This family come up missing. Let's move on to the next topic. Why can't we come together just off the fact that you will not murder us? Can both y'all share y'all thought on that? Why? Because if you can murder a person
on camera,
then there's nothing that's off limits.
Yeah. A little bit can allude to the crack epidemic. Everybody high now. Everybody a little slow. Everybody a little, definitely, docile. Definitely don't want to react. And to me, it's just they have their first line of defense, the police. So they beefed up the police so much, and And like you said, now they can kill you on camera and they know they're protected. So it's like, whoa, there's police everywhere. I don't want to. And then they put us in the cages. I don't know where we went pussy at, but it's like they have so many layers of why this group would be afraid. You know, nobody wants to do 15, 20 years inside their cages. Nobody wants to, you know, be the blame for, and then, you know, nobody has your back. So now, you know, Grandmaster Jay, you know, just gone. So it's like, but back to your question, where we went pussy at, I don't know. We do know they killed our ancestors. They took the children. They raised the children to believe one way. So they probably took that energy out of them then. Then from there, it's just like, who are we raising today? You got to know where we went pussy at is when we stopped learning, when we stopped educating ourselves. When we started having them tell us what's up, that's where we want pussy at.
It's definitely yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like the point you said, like shit, everybody high now. You know, I was watching a show and he said it was at a wedding and they asked why this one person wasn't drinking, and he said because it dulls the senses. And come to find out, he wasn't drinking because he knew it was going to happen. Everybody's going to get murdered within this wedding. So it kind of just, you know, that kind of clicked when you said that, Chief Black Coat, you know, us being so high and so having so much information being sent to us as far as entertainment to keep us unfocused, to dull our senses, to now it's to the point where, yeah, we could do anything. They wouldn't, I mean, it should be oblivious to them. We'll just give them more, feed them more media, feed them more drugs to just have them numb the pain that way. We don't even have to worry about them picking up any type of gun. So I definitely agree with that. I have to step away from this shit. Like you said, just got to sit our asses down. Really, sit our asses down, go through the phases of recovery, because it's really an illness. Like you're going to go through your withdrawal phase, get through that, and keep going to build that muscle back. And that's what we have to do as a group of people. Because right now it just seems like, yeah, anything can happen and nobody even, the thought to even retaliate with violence is non-existent. Like somebody kills your son, your little cousin, your brother, your daughter, and you don't even think to act in violent towards that same person. That's an issue. That's an issue. You're no longer human at this point. I don't know what you are, because you're no longer of this world, because you don't even see that as an issue that needs to be eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type of thing. So yeah, that's where I think it is too. Just, you know.
Yeah. Great build on that one, because yeah, I don't see another way, I guess, because I love me. I invested in me. So it's like, you can't play with none of that, you know. But yeah, we gotta come together. You can't just be killing us on camera, man. And that's what I want to say. Chief Elliott always, you know, alluded to, if something's gonna happen again, I'm saying it's been real quiet. It's been real quiet. You know, whatever, yay, that's what the main media is right now. What's next? And then what are we gonna do about it?
I mean, that's a big event because you're watching George Floyd from an economic standpoint. You're watching the crucifixion of somebody from my generation, Generation X. It's our time to step up, and it's our time to say, again, we can't be hypocritical, man. We grew up with hip hop. It's turned into something, and I'm not nitpicking it, because we had our version of reality rap. Before it was called gangster rap or drill rap, it was reality rap. So I'm not hating on this generation's version of reality rap, but the fact that we're going to act like y'all are saying anything new than what we were saying 20 years ago when we was in our 20s. You're not saying anything new. Are you prepared, as somebody who's on this channel, Chief Black Coat, Chief Biko, I'm gonna go grab something right quick, but are you prepared based on the information? Have you been applying this knowledge over the last year and a half? Do you have constitutional money? Do you have guns? Do you have ammo? I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and
Yes, sir.
yes, you got to study to show yourself approved, because that's a huge event with Kanye, what Chief Black Coat said. There's more that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, for
There's
sure.
election coming up. You got militia coming out in Arizona. And again, it's going to be shock value entertainment to our people because we're just not informed. I think this media has made you so quick-minded that if it's not in a snapshot, you feel like it's not information, but that's not the way the real world works. Like you're not going to get anything done based off what the media tells you. You're going to have to read documents. You're going to have to physically file stuff, submit stuff. It's kind of like this information age has got people thinking that that's the route, but that's not how it works in real life.
Everything's so quick, and they think that's right. They're not.
It's a procedure. Everything is a procedure. And you're not willing to sit down for whatever reason, then how are you going to operate in the world and go through a procedure? Everything is a step process. Do this, do that, do this. And then you got to wait X amount of time to get response back. We want stuff now. And it's like people feed off of that, right? Let's do a rally. Let's do a study committee. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
What's the procedure? But I'll be right back. I just want to, for the time that we've been on this channel, we should all be able to show the world that, yeah, learning about who I am, understanding that there is no money, there are certain things that we're doing to prepare for the inevitable. Because everybody else knows that the dollar is losing value but us.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We're going to be the last one sitting up here
scratching your head, because, yeah. How they
Wish
got
you
this
would've
oil?
said, my bad, Chibico.
Go ahead.
And I was like, I wish you would have sent in the group text, you know, bring your real money out.
You know,
my shit is not where I'm at right now, but I definitely would have been. I think I got a little silver on me. I got a little silver, some platinum. I ain't got no gold though.
Funny you said that though, man, because
but I got a little bit. Shit,
the ones that's in
we
tune
need.
are
Definitely gonna always protect ourselves. I know you got the straps around. We ain't worried about that.
Yeah, look, I got to.
Let me see. Because I already know you gonna coat that bullshit. Let's get out.
You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and grab my.
And the only reason that I suggested that is because we started this whole thing during the pandemic. We're closing out a fiscal year, so we have to look back at the year, be like, okay, where do we have progress? Where do we gain? We started in the pandemic. I'm so proud of myself and everybody that's a part of this, because we grew. When the world turned dark, we turned on the light.
And stuck to it.
And we decided to stay positive every Sunday and drop information. So now that you've got time going by,
you got a line bag.
Have you been investing in constitutional money?
Mine don't look like that, but yeah, I got mine too. I ain't got it with me right now.
You see what I'm saying? So so what?
Oh yeah, you got okay.
In the middle of this pandemic, when you watch the world shut down, can you look back and say, damn, I've been studying to show myself approved. I've been doing certain things. You understand? Oh, right.
Green tip for the ones that know what that means.
Oh yeah, you know.
Right. So, you know, I got AK rounds. Right. Can you look back at your bomb and say, okay, I got XYZ, I got certain things done? Or are you looking back since March 2020 and you haven't evolved mentally? Are you still caught in what the media is throwing at you? Did you step outside the matrix? These are what you call ounces. The world knows what the fiat dollar converts this to. The only people that don't know is niggas.
That one nice. You kind of made me jealous with that one.
Let me see what you're doing. Let me see what you're working with.
Oh, yeah, I had to get me a little upgrade, man.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, I don't remember this.
That's
You know,
an AR?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you got your scope on there. Okay.
That's the one I was shooting at the range the other day.
Okay. Okay. So so it got you locked in. Your scope got
Yes,
you
sir.
locked in.
For
Okay.
sure.
I still love it.
So that's all. I just want to show the people that we're not reading the fact that there is no money, and we're not, we're all going to get that moment where, as this United States government continues to lose power on the worldwide stage, you got BRICS. That's an organization. China, India, Japan, now Saudi Arabia.
Zeal.
Everybody is coming up under this new world
Especially
order because they want to use currency that's
And asset.
gold, which makes it money. Stuff we're using right now are just coupons.
Correct.
We're literally in an amusement park called the United States government, and one group of people that are going to get fucked over when you go to this fair. And it's so why do we want to keep going to this amusement park when there is no money? Because there's foreigners managing and running this government, but they're not the Americans. So it's all fake. But that statement right there, you're going to think I'm crazy, right? And mental health is real, right? But we read the Constitution and tell you 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. So,
it's so
in your
crazy.
face.
I was having a conversation with my pops Friday, I think it was Friday. And he was telling me, like, man, it's so crazy how I pay off the house and I still have to pay property taxes. And I said,
Wow.
the only thing really payable or that can be considered as payment for debt is gold and silver. And I said, so I wonder if, you pay with it in gold and silver, would that still have to happen? He said, damn, I didn't even think about that. So it just shows, how much we have to break away from this system if we really want to become free. Because like he said, there's no way I done paid off the house and I'm still having to pay X amount in property taxes now, but something that I'm supposed to own. Because he said, if I don't pay this property taxes, the bank can take this whole operation, this whole house.
Yeah, right. But
So,
because you're operating in trust. And when you operate in trust, you can use things, but you never own it. So you never own your vehicles, your house, or anything. You just get the benefit of using it, but you don't own it. That's going to go over our head.
we trust you to keep it.
Right. That we live.
You made your payments.
Yeah, you're a trustee. You can, you're like a custodian. You're a trustee of this account. You have access to this, but you don't own it.
Right.